Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. And for the next hour, as a matter of fact, at this time slot for the next 3 days, we are going to be looking at vocabulary, specifically really kind of higher level vocabulary, and we're going to be looking more specifically at often confusing words in English. Words that possibly homophones, words that sound exactly the same but have totally different meanings, words that are spelled very similarly, words that have very similar but slightly different nuances to the meanings. We will be looking at these vocabulary words by doing some fill-in-the-blank exercises, looking at some interesting quotes, or I think they're interesting, and talking a little bit about the vocabulary in question. All right, well, that's the game plan. Let me welcome students to the class. We've got a ton of material, so we can jump right into it. Hello, David. How are you? Hey.
Fine. And you?
I'm good, thanks. And also, welcome to the class. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to. New student, hello, hi, how are you? What's your name? Olga? I'm not sure. I'm guessing.
Yes. My name is Olga. Hello.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting better and better at reading Cyrillic letters. Every day I improve. Okay. Hi, Olga. I'm Oakley.
Hi, Olga.
Also a name that starts with O. We're kindred. All right. Cool. Okay. Welcome to the class. All right. I'm going to challenge you guys today for sure, and even challenge myself, actually. I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to look at this. We're going to do exercises, look at these vocabulary words, which, frankly, often confuse native English speakers. Frequently confuse native English speakers. So I think this is going to be a bit of a challenge for us, but let's see how we do. Let's see if we can learn some useful English, and some English where make sure we don't make confusing mistakes. Okay. Olga, can I ask, if you don't mind, there's a little bit of background noise. If you wouldn't mind closing or muting your microphone when you're not speaking. Thank you. Okay. And you can mute it right here in the Google Hangout. Let me explain. If you see your little U box, you can see U. In the right-hand corner of that box, there's a little arrow. Okay, if you click on that, there's a drop-down. There you go. You found it. All right. You can mute and unmute yourself as you go along. Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. Let me quickly welcome Shrik. Is that correct? Hello? Shrik? Hello? Welcome to the class. Can you hear me? What's going on now? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Oh, what's going on? He's gone.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. I got a little stuck there for a second. Having some weird. The scripts keep freezing on me. Okay. Let's get started here. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, let's jump right into this confusing vocabulary. For example, affect or effect. Okay, there's barely any difference in the way we pronounce this. Affect, effect. Hardly any difference. Okay, David, kick us off. Here we go.
Okay. Our ultimate freedom is the right and power to decide how anybody or anything outside ourselves will affect us.
Ah, very good. That was actually quite awesome. I could tell that you picked the first option. Yes,
Yes,
you did, and that is correct. Very good. Why did you pick the first one?
because I think the other doesn't match. And
Okay.
effect is something caused by something, and affect it's the ability you have to influence someone or something or some event.
Uh, okay. Okay. Pretty close. Yeah. Affect with an A usually has to do with a human being and emotional, mental, uh, spiritual
Hmm.
effect on that person and their personality, really. Whereas it's much more abstract as well, and it has to do with a person. An effect with an E has to do with cause and effect. Any basic law of physics is all about cause and effect. So actually, physical science really has to deal with. Okay, so you are correct because we're talking about how things affect human beings.
Okay.
Okay, and their spirituality, although or their abstract things about them. So another way to think about it is affect with an A is actually an effect of other things, but it's an abstract effect for people. But an effect isn't necessarily an affect. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I made it more confusing.
Yes,
Okay,
I think so.
then ignore that last thing I said. Never mind. All right, stick with what I said first. Never mind. Okay. Well, okay. Ignore it, but also this happens a lot in English where two words that are often confused. One is a subgroup of an A is a subgroup of B. That happens a lot, and it causes confusion for language learners. But it doesn't work the other way around, and that happens a lot in English, actually. Okay, let me try to welcome a couple of students to the class. It's Shrick. Is it Shrick or Shrick? Hello? One more time? Shrika. Shrika. Okay. Shrika, I can barely hear you. The, the sound quality is not good and it's very low as well. If you can try to work on that, it would be great. And also let me welcome Sam. Hi, Sam. Welcome back.
No.
Hello. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's continue with our confusing vocabulary. Olga, you're up. Take a look.
Okay.
There we go. Yep.
The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
Okay. Which one did you use? Allusion with an A or illusion with an I?
Illusion. The A.
With an A.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, had to double check myself. You scared me. Actually, the answer is illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, allusion with an A. There is a verb which is easier to understand. To allude. You allude to something else. You allude to something which is not directly mentioned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay. All right. Let me think. Okay. For example, if I don't directly, if I allude to, if I say the Red Army, okay, I'm making an allusion to the Chinese National Army without actually saying Chinese National Army. I'm alluding to them. Or I might even say the Reds have taken over the peninsula. Okay, I'm alluding to them without actually mentioning them directly. So that's what an allusion is. Illusion is like magicians. That's what they do. So, looking at this George Bernard Shaw quote here, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion. It seems like there has been communication, but really there hasn't.
Okay, I see.
Okay, which I think is a kind of a cool quote as well. All right. I like this quote a lot. Many times we think we have communicated, but really there's total misunderstanding. That's what it's trying to say. Yeah, got it. Okay. So illusion is the correct answer here. Okay. All right, Sam. Number 3.
Okay. While visual learners prefer to learn information through charts and graphs, and oral learners prefer to hear information.
Okay. Right. So, what are our 2 options?
Yes, oral or oral.
Oral or oral?
Oral. O with O. Yes, because oral we use for learners. For example, if you give exam orally, not in written, you can use oral. No?
Well, okay. Oral and oral. First of all, number 1, these are what are called homophones. They are 2 words that sound exactly. They are pronounced exactly the same. First of all, that's one thing. Secondly, oral, AU or AUR actually, the AL ending is a suffix, which means it's an adjective. The AUR has to do with hearing. AU, auditory, all right, audience, audio, oral. And oral has to do with oral, the mouth, speak.
Okay, right. So A, oral here, A, because they come from audio, oral, that's why here it's really oral. Okay. Yeah,
right.
Really confusing.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're all confusing. They are.
Yeah.
Whoops. Let me get rid of this. Okay. They are very confusing. These are all, as advertised, there's just very confusing vocabulary. Okay, David, what is going back to illusions, I want to address. David wrote a question in the Verbling chat box. Let's see. David, talk to me here.
Yes, when it's this word is, I think it's the same in Spanish, and when you are watching TV and there is a debate between several people, when here in Spain we use this word when someone is speaking about you but without saying your name.
Yeah.
If I want, like the example, I think someone in this class is not teaching correctly or is not the best teacher in the world. And you can you answer in this way, or it's not correct?
Can you answer in this way? By illusions, or maybe because of your illusion, I think I have to say something. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I understand. You could say, I recognize your illusion. I understand your illusion, so let me address that. Yes, you could say that.
Okay.
Classic example of illusion just happened at the UN. Just happened. Vladimir Putin just gave a speech in which he talked about how much some countries were causing civil wars and unrest and then not doing anything about it. He clearly was alluding to the United States in his address. And a 4-year-old child could figure that out. Why he didn't just say the United States, what's the point? I guess he was being diplomatic, but the allusion was obvious, right? If you want to see a perfect example of allusion, just in the very recent news, read about that speech. It's very obvious allusion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Next one, David, since I've got you right here.
Okay.
Capital or capital?
Bismarck is the capital of North Dakota and the state's second largest city.
Okay.
The first with an A.
Okay. Yes, with an A is correct. All right. Okay. Capital. All right. Okay. Capital is the central city, the seat of government is a capital, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. What is capital? And by the way, here we go, more homophones. These are pronounced exactly the same way.
Capital.
Yeah.
I think, as far as I know, it's a building used for government's purposes, I think, to establish the government or something similar. I'm not sure, because
capital.
I heard about it in many movies, I think, but I'm not sure.
Okay, well, all right. Yeah, okay, the Capitol building in the United States, right, is spelled with an O. You're absolutely correct. That is right. You're totally correct. Capitol refers actually to a building. Okay. So, wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Okay. It's very strange because you have the building, which is with an O, and then the city, which is an A. Very strange.
I am looking for the definition in English, and I have one that I think could explain this. Is the ancient temple of Jupiter at Rome on the Capitoline.
Oh, okay. So it's derived from Roman.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, the Roman words. All right, I see. Okay. Very good. By the way, just a side note regarding English, the reason that these are homophones, because it's capital, the first syllable is stressed, so you have 3 syllables, capital. The last syllable, A-L-O-L-U-L-E-L-I-L, doesn't really matter. An unstressed syllable is going to be reduced to the schwa sound, which is the very simple, very relaxed vowel sound. It sounds more or less like Okay, unstressed syllables in English, that's how they're pronounced. So that's why English has so very, very many homophones, is because it doesn't matter what the actual vowel is. If it's an unstressed syllable, it's basically pronounced as Okay. Another reason it happens is because some letters make the same sound, like C and S. Okay, our next example, Olga.
Here is what we do. We leave the car here, we take the plates off, we scratch the serial number of the engine block, and we walk away. It's serial, the second one, with S.
Very good. Okay, excellent. All right, why is it a serial number?
Because I don't know what is serial, the first.
Oh, that's a good reason. Okay. All right. Actually, there's a couple big differences here. Like, okay, the earlier one, capital and capital, these are both nouns. But cereal and cereal, the first word cereal can be a noun or an adjective, but the second one is an adjective. The noun form would be series, right? So it's a different word for the noun form. So serial, series of numbers, serial number. All right, fine. All cars have serial numbers to identify them. A series of numbers. The first word, Olga, so you know, very useful word because you probably eat it already. Cereal, first of all, cereals, general term, are all foods that include rice, corn, barley, oats, wheat. Those are all cereals. Okay, so it's a major type of food. Also, cereal specifically can refer to a type of cereal. Cereal comes in a box and you pour it in a bowl and you pour milk on it and you have it for breakfast. Usually made of cereals, oats or wheat or whatever, corn or rice. Right. So those are also called cereals. You buy them in a supermarket in a box. You got your Fruit Loops, your Special K, your Cheerios, Corn Flakes. Those are also called cereals. Okay. All right. Moving on. Sam. Chord to chord.
Hello. Yeah. I think the government touch are responsive. Responsive. With voters of both parties, especially with her promise to veto any budget plan that included increased taxes. Chord? Chord. C-H-C-O-R-D chord.
Actually, no. What is the difference?
No?
Yeah, do you know the difference
I
between
think chord.
chord and chord? Yeah.
Yes, chord is used for rope. We can say that a big rope, and chord is a sound, or we can say that during playing a music, we use this word chord or chord. Or how to pronounce this? Chord or chord?
They are both, once again, they are homophones, which is why they're confused. They're homophones, so they're both pronounced identically. Chord.
Chord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does it mean group? We say group of people. Maybe the first one.
Yeah. The first one, this was a difficult example because they're using it metaphorically. They're using it idiomatically. To strike a chord or touch a chord is really an idiom. So this was unfairly difficult. So unless you were familiar with the idiom, you would never be able to guess this, really. You are correct. C-O-R-D, no H, is basically a type of rope, a thinner, stronger type of rope, basically. Okay, you have a ripcord on your parachute. It's very strong but very thin. So you pull the ripcord and your parachute opens. Chord with an H, you are correct. It has to do with music. So, okay, when you strike a chord with somebody, it's actually the idiom is referring to the music. So it goes with the idea that something resonates. Okay. Do you know about resonance, Sam? The idea of resonance, musical notes?
Means arrange?
Well, resonance...
Arrange notes?
No. Resonance has to do the idea of vibration. Like the idea that if an opera singer sings the perfect high note, oh, the glass will break. Wine glasses will break, right? This whole idea goes along with the idea of resonance, vibration, when things are vibrating at exactly the same speed. And so the glass would vibrate and smash. That's because she's reaching the perfect chord which resonates with that glass. So, idiomatically, if something strikes a chord or touches a chord with you, it gives you a very deep feeling, an emotional feeling, a spiritual feeling. It really resonates with you, and it really touches you in a meaningful way. That's the idea. Much like music, really. So that's basically it. Okay. Moving on. David. Click or click?
Click or click. The Vice President of China belongs to a clique, the second one.
Very good.
Known as the princelings, descendants of prominent communist officials. And really, I've chosen this one because the other doesn't match. Clique is something that I can't put in this sentence.
Right. Process of elimination. I get it. Okay. Click, of course. Click is like a sound. It's onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, words that sound like what they are supposed to represent. So yeah, you click a button. That's right. That absolutely doesn't work. It's a verb. Click with a Q, however, is a noun, and a clique.
It's a family, for example, or a group of families, or
well, a group, a well-defined group. American high school life, there were a lot of cliques. There were the brains, the really smart kid. There were the jocks, the athletic kids. There were the socias, the very social rich kids who had really nice clothes. There were, the heads, the burnouts, the kids that smoked marijuana and just sat around staring at space. All right. These were all cliques that all Americans would be familiar with. A clique is a well-defined, specific group. Yeah.
Okay.
China, the princelings. That's a real thing, by the way. Okay. Okay. Here's one I've confused many a student with. Olga. What? Climactic or climatic?
Climatic or climatic. The new music director favors full-bodied, robust sound, which can build to daring decibel levels in... I don't know. Truly, I don't know.
And I don't know. Okay.
The second one, climatic.
Okay. Let's look at the second one first. What do you think this word is close to? You know any words that are similar?
Climate.
Excellent. Exactly. The second one is very close to climate. Exactly. And it has the IC ending. IC endings in English indicate an adjective. So climate is the noun, climatic, something concerned with the climate. Okay. Which basically they're talking about music and building levels and climactic moments. Climactic, on the other hand, the first word, it's harder to see the word that it's associated with, but the word it's associated with is climax. The climax of a movie is where the most exciting part, the turning point near the end of the movie. Oh, and the prince saves the princess, and everyone lives happily ever after. Okay. The part where he almost gets killed. The part where 007 finally escapes, as he always does every time. Okay. So, what do you think? Which one makes more sense? Yes, exactly. That's it. Okay, climactic moments. The music director builds the sound, builds and builds and builds to a musical climax. Dun 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 dun. Okay, that's it. Very good. All right. Those are, by the way, those are not homophones. You should be pronouncing the C sound in climactic so as to make it discernible from climatic. Okay, Sam, your turn.
Okay. The prosecutor closed the case, admitting that he was unable to find witnesses to the allegations made against Mr. Soprano. Collaborate is the join.
Which one?
The first one. First one.
No.
Oh my God.
Well, let's talk.
Why? Because collaborated. No. Joint
No.
activity.
Okay,
No.
first one. Do you know collaborate? If you and I collaborate
Yes,
on a
collaborate.
project.
Yes, worked jointly together.
That's it. Exactly. Precisely.
Mhm.
We collaborate. We work
Mhm.
together. So that doesn't really make sense. Unable to find witnesses to work together. The allegations as an object noun here. That doesn't really work. You and think about it. You collaborate on a project. You work together on a project. There's also not the pretty much necessary preposition there either. Another problem. Corroborate. That's fun to say. Corroborate. Corroborate, on the other hand, is if you corroborate someone's story, you second the motion. What's a good word? You
confirm.
Thank you. That's exactly the word. Confirm. Right. So they need to find witnesses to corroborate or to confirm the allegations, to confirm information that's already there. That's it exactly. All right. Okay. Okay. Next one, David.
Okay, credible and have I to pronounce in the same way? I think these words are different, no?
They are different. Credulous is the second word.
Credulous.
Yep, good.
Okay. Yep. The most imaginative people are the most credulous. For them, everything is possible.
Yeah, okay. Because of this second clause here. Right, because it's referring to them. All right. Wait, David, what is credible?
I think credible is related to something that you can trust on it.
Trust or believe. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why when we put in the front of it, incredible, it means it's hard to believe or hard to trust. That's right. Impossible to trust. Right. It's the negative. Incredible. Credible is the positive. Here's a case where we tend in English to use the negative, incredible, a lot more than we use the positive. Usually it's the other way around in English. Okay. So a story can be credible or a person can be credible. It means they're believable.
A story.
Either one.
Story.
Actually, both. A person can be credible. Okay.
Yes, you're right. Okay.
Okay. Credulous, on the other hand, is obviously very similar root word. Credulous means somebody that believes things.
Yeah, for example, if I tell you that here in Spain elephants can fly, and you trust me, I think you're a very credulous person.
Yeah, and I might add an even better word. I'm a very gullible person if I believe that story. as well. Yeah, gullible people are fun. Credulous people are fun. Yeah, credulous and gullible are very similar words. Okay. All right. Let me move on. Okay, let me. Yeah, Olga, go ahead.
Dazed or dazzled?
Okay.
Dazed by months of glad-handing and posturing, the candidate stumbled. I can see the text.
Oh, sorry.
Stumbled around the stage like finalists in a dance marathon. About
Okay.
this, what is it?
Okay. This is a tough one, actually. There's some strange other words here too. Glad-handing. Do you know this word? Glad-handing. Okay, that's. We're talking about candidates like for the president or something. If glad-handing means they've been. Okay, go stand over here. Go over there. Okay, stand in this spotlight. Now you need to speak for 5 minutes. Okay, get on the bus. All right, get off the bus. Okay, now talk to this reporter. Somebody's handling them and telling them what to do every second, pushing them here, pushing them there. Okay. And then posturing, okay, you know, politicians posture. They that's what they do. They act basically. They put on a show and they posture. I'm so whatever. Okay. All right, hang on. Hold on, Olga, just a moment. Bashir, hello?
Hello, yes?
Yeah, Bashir, you've got to close the verbling with the other verbling window because we're getting the multi-billion echo effect. Okay? Hi, Bashir. Welcome to the class. All right. Bashir, if I could ask if you would please mute your microphone when you're not speaking, and then I'll come around and talk to you in just a moment because we're getting some severe echo, and everybody can hear that echo. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Shrik, I'll come right back to you as well. Just give me a moment. Okay, Olga, sorry for the interruption. All right. Dazed or dazzled? What do you think?
Maybe dazzled. Because dazed is like to be wondering.
Dazed.
Yeah? To be surprised?
Dazed is like, okay. Dazed is like to be dizzy, to be not sure where you are. If you get hit in the head, sometimes you're dazed for a while. It has to do with the effect of really being not in your right full mind. Dazzled, on the other hand, it really has to do with lights. If you're dazzled by the big city lights, they're very similar, okay? You're dazzled by this, you're really impressed, okay, maybe overwhelmed. So it's both of them are kind of similar in that they have to do with there's an effect on your ability to be normal. All right, if you're dazzled, you're overwhelmed by lights, or you can be dazzled by gold and silver at a. Oh, okay. You can be dazzled by the wealth at a party, the beautiful dresses, the fine food, the really expensive cars, whatever. These things can dazzle you. Wow! Oh my God! I can't believe it. Dazzled, as opposed to dazed, which is more like, where am I? What am I doing? What happened? Okay, dazed, you're really out of your mind. Okay, so this is a tough one here, really, because almost it could be either one. Maybe dazed, because they're not. It's not like the candidates are impressed or overwhelmed by something. They're just confused. All right, they're stumbling around on the stage. The idea is more being confused, being dazed. Yeah, dazzled comes from lights, like that, usually.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Shrika, are you there now? Shrika, are you still, or are you there? Shrika? No? Okay. Give me a shout out if you can hear me, Shrika. All right, Sam, diffuse or diffuse? Okay, well, I kind of gave that away.
Okay. Gossip is a sort of smoke that comes from the dirty tobacco pipes of those who, oh my gosh, those who sprayed or diffuse it. It proves nothing but the bad taste of the smoker.
Okay. So,
Yeah?
which
No?
one? The first one or the second one?
Second one.
Very good.
Because it's sprayed. Yeah?
Yes. Right. That's it. You are correct. Yeah, that's right. Most people, and actually myself included, diffuse is used as an adjective, but it can be used as a verb. Most people, again, including myself, know diffuse means something that's been spread out. Exactly. Widely spread. Okay. So here it's being used as those who diffuse it. Here's it's being used as a verb. This is a rare use, but it still means to spread. Basically the same meaning. Sam, what is diffuse? The first one, diffuse.
Yes. Diffuse, 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 both pronounced in the same way, right? And I think diffuse means,
okay.
No?
They're not both pronounced the same
No?
way. The first one is diffuse with a Z sound, and the second one is diffuse with an S sound, diffuse.
Diffuse and okay, okay. Diffuse, diffuse. I think can we say it's tense?
It has to do with that. Yeah.
Yes, make situation tense.
Or less tense, actually. Less tense.
Yes. Less tense, yeah.
Sometimes when you're trying to define these and think about them, it's a lot easier to think of the physical meaning first and then how that relates to the abstract meaning. And then oftentimes that we can go a step further and look at the metaphorical or idiomatic meaning. But, okay, diffuse, for example, physically, you diffuse a bomb. A fuse, you light the fuse, and it burns towards the bomb, and once it hits the bomb, kaboom! If you defuse the bomb, you remove the fuse. The fuse is the part that actually makes the bomb go off. So, defuse? Okay. So if you diffuse a situation, you make a tense situation before the bomb blows off. Okay, a tense situation before it gets out of control. blows up in your face, you diffuse the situation. So you make it less tense, is the idea. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. All right. David, number 15, or maybe not.
Okay. Eminent or imminent? If so, blank, I have to think. An establishment as a 3-star Michelin restaurant can serve toxic selfies. What hope is there for anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Really, I don't know.
Ah, okay.
Imminent is something that it's about to happen just now.
This one, imminent with an I, is something that's
Yes.
about to happen. That is correct.
Okay. The first one.
Yeah.
So eminent, yes. So great. So.
That's right.
Wise.
Prestigious.
Yes, prestigious. Okay. Yes.
A good synonym. Right. So prestigious an establishment as a 3-star Michelin restaurant. Right. Eminent. Okay. I believe the Pope is sometimes referred to as Your Eminence. Very closely related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, imminent. That's right. Something that's imminent disaster. Something's about to happen in just a few seconds. Very, very, very soon. Right. Okay. Olga? Fair or fair?
The driver teased the poor child who had forgotten her bus fare. First one.
Oh.
Fare means like ticket.
That's the second one.
It's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. These are homophones. They sound exactly alike.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, fair, has a couple of meanings. Even-handed, being equal to all is fair. All right. I gave each of the 6 children one piece of candy. I thought that was fair. Okay. Or fair can mean light, like light-skinned or light hair. Okay, you have fair hair. All right, not dark hair. It's light. Okay, but fare, F-A-R-E, is like bus fare. The charge, usually charge for transportation, or maybe charge for a tour, which includes transportation. Train fare, bus fare. We don't normally say plane fare, but yes, usually it's a small fee. Usually that has to do, taxi fare has to do with transportation normally. Okay, thank you. Sam, another homophone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to say that the first phase of our operation has met with considerable success. Second one.
Definitely. Okay. Here, of course, meaning step. Okay. You do something in phases, you do it step by step. That's right. What's the first word, Sam? Don't worry, it won't phase me if you don't know.
Yeah, disturb.
That's
Don't
it.
disturb me.
That's right.
Disturb.
Yes. And now this is a weird English word, actually, because it's one of those words that nobody ever uses in the positive sense. We always use it in the negative. It doesn't phase me. Oh, I don't care when he talks like that. It doesn't phase me at all. Nothing phases her. She never seems to get bothered. It's always used as a negative. I never say, that really phases me. That would sound totally strange. Okay. Moving on. David, finally or finally?
Finally. My sister's bringing up had made me sensitive. In the little world in which children have their existence, whosoever, I don't know how to pronounce this word, whosoever brings them up, there is nothing so
This is a weird quote.
I have to read it again. I think the second one, finally.
Yeah, I don't even understand this quote myself, but it's got to be.
I don't understand, but I think this word is a noun, and
okay,
the other is an adverb, and an adverb can't match in this position, I think.
Okay, here's why we were confused, because we weren't looking at this. Sorry.
So finally.
Okay, there we go.
And so there's nothing so finally perceived, and so
again.
The same. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, this is interesting. And finally felt. This is a trick one.
I think the first one is that you don't care really about things, and you don't perceive really the things that they are. You have your own opinion of things, and this is not real.
Not quite. It has to do. It's the word fine as an adjective. Not like, that's fine, I'll meet you later at the gym. Not like that kind of fine, but fine like very, very tiny. Like fine pieces of sand. Very tiny pieces of sand. Okay, so if you do finally with an ly, obviously an adverb, okay, it has to do with very tiny. So you would see this normally associated with verbs like finely crafted jewelry, okay? With very intricate, delicate, I think delicately would be a very close synonym for finely. Okay, so, all right, it's very sensitive. He's talking about being sensitive.
Yes.
There's nothing so finely perceived, so delicately perceived. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're very sensitive, you would perceive in the most delicate way, the most subtle, hard to see, hard to grasp way injustice, and you would feel it so finally, like it was a horrible, horrible thing. That is the idea here. Finally means last, with the two L's. Yeah. And finally. Okay. That was a tricky one.
Yes.
Tricky old Charles Dickens there. Okay. Okay, anyway, I'm not even going to say it. Olga. Flare. Or Ric Flair.
Flare. The bright spot in the sky was an unusually large solar flare. The second one, I don't know how to spell stupendous. Stupendous explosion that and billions of tons of matter far into space.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll get back to the main word in a second. Stupendous is a very, very extreme adjective for like fabulous, but even better than fabulous. Fabulous, amazing, stupendous, like that. Explosion that belched. Well, normally belch, if you drink a Coca-Cola really fast, you might go, you burp, you belch, okay? All right, to force out a lot of air all at once, that's what a burp or a belch is. So, all right, that belched radiation in billions of tons of matter. All right, it spit it out very quickly and suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's actually quite a normal collocation is solar flare. First or second? And you said what?
I said second. No.
Oh. No. It's solar flare. Flare, you might have a flare in your car in case you go off the road or you get stuck or something. Or if you went on a boat, you'd certainly have flares, a flare gun. Okay. A flare is a bright, bright light.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And solar flares happen all the time. They're long tongues of light that eject from the sun.
Okay.
Okay. On the other hand, flare, if you, I don't know, maybe you sew some sequins into your blue jeans to add flare. Something that makes it a little more fashionable, noticeable, stylish, a little different. Different style. Different than everyone else. Or flare, A-I-R, flare, can also mean that something like a trumpet, all right? At the end of a trumpet, the trumpet gets wider.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have flared jeans, all right? Speaking of blue jeans, instead of straight leg blue jeans, you have flared blue jeans. They get bigger at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
They're flared. Okay, so there you go. Flare and flare. All right, Sam. One more. Flaunt and
Yeah,
flout.
sure.
Oh boy, this is a tough one.
Yes, the first priority of the commission should be to identify restaurant owners who knowingly public health laws, knowingly public health laws. The second one,
Flout is the pronunciation, and
yeah,
yeah, you're absolutely correct.
flout, yeah,
Okay,
because it's concerned to the law.
it is directly concerned to the law. You flout a law,
Yeah.
you openly defy the law.
Openly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What does it
And the
mean if
first one, flaunt.
flaunt?
Yes, flaunt means display.
That's right.
Display.
Display usually something like wealth. You flaunt your wealth. You flaunt your. You flaunt something that you want. You flaunt something you want other people to be envious of. Basically, whatever that may be. Okay, well, one more quick one here, David. It's the triple. Flu, 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 or flu. And these are homophones. They all sound exactly the same in English. Flu,
Yes.
flu, or flu.
The Wright brothers flew right through the smoke screen of impossibility.
Oh, that's very clever, actually.
And I think it's the first one.
Yeah, the Wright brothers. Okay, the first gentleman to invent an aircraft. Okay, that's very, very clever. And okay, the first one is, of course, past tense of the verb to fly. The second one, David, flew.
When you are, when you are sick, it's a disease.
Yeah, a viral disease. That's right. And what about the last one? That's the tricky one. Do you know what a flu is with an E?
I think it's this like a chimney, for example.
Very good. Okay. Exactly. It is actually like a valve that's in a chimney where you can turn the valve and it allows more or less air to go up the chimney, thus causing more draw. You open up the flue, more oxygen goes in, the fire gets hotter and bigger.
Okay.
And more smoke goes up the chimney. If you close the flue, then it's not sucking as much oxygen in, and it makes the fire last longer. So, yes. So, very, very clever the way he uses flue with smokescreen. Oh, yeah. Okay. How very droll. Oh, okay. Anyway, that's unfortunately all we have time for today. We'll do some more tomorrow, though, I promise. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
we'll see you again.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll be